Hello, everyone. Good to see everyone again. And welcome. We are on the last day of February and we are celebrating the season of growth and opportunity with Canada Business Talks as we honor Black History Month. Today is the last day. Now, this is a time to reflect on the contributions and legacies of Black entrepreneurs and leaders, learn from their journeys, and prepare for a prosperous future. Let this month inspire you to elevate your business strategy with valuable insights from Canadian business leaders in this empowering series. We proudly bring this series to you in collaboration with our exclusive partners. We have RBC as our banking partner, UPS is our shipping partner, IHG Business Edge is our hospitality partner, and Google Canada is our technology partner. That's a good partner to have in tech. And I am Elissa Lansdell, your media host for Canadian SME Business Magazine. A little bit about me. I founded Rockstar Communications in 2020 as a way to unite my passions and strengths in the leadership communications and media spaces. Since 2011, I have had the privilege and pleasure of helping probably thousands of leaders across the globe influence their teams and stakeholders with authenticity and impact. I would like to begin today, as we always do, by acknowledging that the land on which we gather and on which the region of Peel operates is part of the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit. For thousands of years, Indigenous peoples have inhabited and cared for this land and continue to do so today. In particular, I would like to acknowledge the territory of the Anishinaabe, the Huron-Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, and Ojibwe peoples, the land that is home to the Métis, and most recently, the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, who are direct descendants of the Mississaugas of the Credit. We're grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land, and by doing so, we give our respect to its first inhabitants. At Canadian SME, our mission is to equip aspiring entrepreneurs with the resources, tools, insights they need to start and grow their businesses in Canada. We're committed to supporting small scale entrepreneurs, driving economic growth, and enhancing Canada's global reputation. Through our magazine, we celebrate the hard work and achievements of entrepreneurs. We help them gain the recognition they deserve. And our events, like the SME Awards, the Small Business Show, and the Small Business Summit, provide invaluable opportunities for small business owners to share their journeys and inspire others. Very inspiring events. Now, 2 years ago, we reached an important milestone with the launch of Indigenous SME Business Magazine. This publication underscores our dedication to honoring the unique histories and contributions of Indigenous communities. And together, through Canadian SME and Indigenous SME Business Magazine, we remain focused on empowering and uplifting Canada's diverse small business community. I'd like to formally welcome you all to Canada Business Talks, where we're committed to fostering growth and success in the business world. In collaboration with esteemed partners like RBC, UPS, IHG Business Edge, and Google, we bring you insights from top Canadian business leaders to elevate your ventures. Our esteemed guest today, Henry Lukenge, founder and CEO of Nexim Healthcare Consultants, Inc., is going to be joining us shortly. Now, as president and CEO of Nexim Healthcare Consultants and exec director of his sister charity, Nexim International Development Organizations, he provides staffing solutions to Canada's largest health organizations. We're going to introduce him shortly. So please join us as we delve into an insightful conversation with Henry Lukenge and explore the pathways to success in his own entrepreneurship. Together, let's embark on a journey of transformation and growth, shaping a more diverse and prosperous business landscape for all. First, I would like to take this opportunity once again to thank our sponsors, our banking partner, RBC, our shipping partner, UPS, our hospitality partner, IHG Business Edge, and our tech partner, Google. Now, if you are a small business owner in Canada, you can apply to be featured as the UPS Small Business of the Day, which is very cool. Every day, Canadian SME Small Business Magazine, with support from UPS, our exclusive shipping partner, features a different small business on our social media channels. As the UPS Small Business of the Day, you'll receive free promotion on Canadian SME social media channels. You can apply now by visiting CanadianSME.ca. All right, let's take a quick break right now and see what's in store for you by our exclusive sponsors.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. Still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep, healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah, well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep, that's all us. That's all UPS.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, we're in the business of you.
We're here to help you plug in,
connect and recharge,
make an impression,
and meet with confidence.
With 19 brands built for business,
your business gets even more rewarding.
With an award-winning loyalty program at 6,000 IHG hotels and resorts worldwide.
All right. I would like to welcome our RBC spokesperson, Alaje Baez. She is a senior relationship manager with RBC Commercial Banking. As a strategic relationships manager, she leads complex collaborative transactions to maximize wins for her clients in RBC. Alaje has the privilege of working with some of Canada's most exciting high growth companies in the business professional services sector. Alaje and her team aim to support Canadian companies to have a seamless banking experience. And we are so happy to have you here. Welcome, Alaje.
hello and welcome to Canada's Small Business Talk. My name is Elissa Baez. Thank you for the intro. I'm proud to be here on behalf of RBC. As we celebrate Black History Month, we take a moment to honor the profound contribution of Black entrepreneurs and leaders who helped shaping our communities and our future. In this spirit, it is that I'm delighted to introduce our guest, Henry Lukenge. Henry is a trailblazing entrepreneur with over 25 years of experience in finance, tax, and business leadership. His career began as a certified chartered accountant at one of the United Kingdom Big Four accounting firms. In 2005, Henry made a bold move to Canada to contribute a major IRS implementation project at a prominent trust fund in Toronto. Despite the challenges he faced, his extensive expertise and unwavering determination ensures the project's success. In 2009, driven by a desire for personal fulfillment and a commitment to making a broader societal impact, Henry founded Nexim Healthcare Consultants, commonly known as Nexim Care, a healthcare staffing company that connects top talent, including nurses, physicians, healthcare staffing companies, and connect them with organizations lacking long-term and medium-term staffing challenges. Nexim Care not only addresses critical needs within the healthcare and social care sector, but also dedicates a significant portion of its earnings to charitable initiatives. Beyond the realm of business, Henry serves as an executive director of Nexim International Development Organization. Through NIDO, he is dedicated to empowering East African and Canadian communities by advancing education, prompting economic sustainability, fostering gender equality, and championing sustainable energy initiatives. His work is a powerful testament to the belief that business success and social responsibility go hand in hand. Henry's journey is an inspiring reminder that with courage, resilience, and innovative thinking, we can overcome any obstacle to drive meaningful change for our community. His story embodies a spirit of determination. We celebrate this Black History Month, and his insight today promises to offer a valuable lesson for entrepreneurs navigating the ever-evolving business landscape. I would like to thank Canadian SME Magazine, our co-sponsor, and all of you for joining us today for a program that uncovers and celebrates inspiring stories and the individuals like Henry who make them real. At RBC, we're incredibly proud to support this series and to help create this important firm. With that, please join me in extending a warm welcome to Henry Lukenge, a visionary entrepreneur, a fantastic father, a dedicated leader, and a true champion of both business innovation and community empowerment. Thank you.
Thanks, Elahe, and welcome, Henry. How is that for an intro? Wow.
What's the word? Blushing a little. I'm humbled by the introduction, especially coming from someone who she seen me through the struggles of growing the business and trying to create financial products that can anchor our growth. So she knows our business intimately through the support that RBC gives us.
She does, absolutely. So let's talk. I'm really interested in hearing about your journey. Your career spans, multiple continents, multiple industries. So I'm interested in how all of this diverse experience shaped your approach to leadership and also entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I would say first off, obviously, I've got to make some credits. My parents are strong role models of mine. My dad passed on many years ago, but my mother raised 8 of us as a widow in Europe, and all of us took up different skills. But I would say that right out of the gate, a few things stand out. We received help from people of many backgrounds, and most of them didn't have much along the way to where we are now. So that experience helps me understand that from very humble beginnings, and those who don't have that much, you can draw inspiration to go after each goal you go after, right? But also, more importantly, it helps me to remain humble and be respectful to everyone I meet, regardless of where they are in life, right? How that helps me in my business career is that you find that great ideas don't normally come from the most loud, the most educated people. They come from people who have who basically want to solve a problem and have some ideas, but no voice at the table to bring those ideas to. So in my leadership, what I try to do is create an opportunity where as many diverse visions and ideas can rise up to the top, so we can at least debate them, and then look at the goods and the mangoes ones to execute on.
I love that. Yes, not the loudest in the room, the one who listens the most, right? Encourages the most ideas. And I love that, and the most creativity. I'm sure your journey has not been without its challenges. You're a fellow of both the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants in the UK and Chartered Professional Accountants in Ontario. Have you found that there were challenges inherent in earning these prestigious qualifications? And if so, how did you overcome them?
Yeah, I think obviously if you go back like 20 like, this is like 25, 28 years to my journey into this field, right? Obviously there were not many people, first of all, enlisting to become accountants in the profession. That's number one. Number two, there are no role models on TV or radio or the banks to look at.
Yeah.
So for the most part, I had to write my own story along the way. Right out of going into the CA program, someone told me to try something else. My mom told me not to believe him and focus on the education, right? And that if I'm the best student in accounting class, if the Europeans have no place for me, the Africans have a place for CAs. So I did that, right? By being the best student, I got hired to join an art calling program with a big accounting firm. So with that, I got a mentor and all the support I needed. But in the end, but in exchange, they for all the support and resources, I had to be excellent every day, right? Like there's no, you don't have a good father in accounting firm to help you out, because the accounting firms and law firms, even a few of the banks, you find that the incoming talent comes from the same tier of families. So if you're not from one of those connected families with a junior partner, or VP, or this, that, or that network, or people at the golf courses, right?
Yeah.
You're going to struggle to find both mentors, to find support. But because I'm a good student, right? The accounting firm got me because I'm a SPAP student, right? Because as a SPAP student, I got myself a mentor. And then the mentor gave me everything I needed to succeed, right? So in answer to your question, what I would say is that we are going to face challenges along the way as we start our journey. But it's just how it comes down to like a few simple things. One of them is being obviously hardworking and applying yourself every day to your task to be the best at what you do, so that regardless of how you look, everyone appreciates talent once they see it.
Yeah.
And if you're good every day, right, you have not just the technical skills, but also the human skill, right? Are you relatable? Because for professional services in the relations to business, right? Like people have to trust their accountants. Like it's like you trusting your doctor,
Yeah.
right? They'll trust you with their taxes, with their tax shelters, with their if they're planning for what's it called tax shelters, or what's it called marital risk and this that. They need to believe that you're the sort of person who they could trust with these intimate secrets of their life. And once they find out that you are, that's your relationship skills, in addition to your technical skills, then you're going to excel regardless of how you look, right? And that has been my anchor. Those facets have been my sort of go-to things to do, right? When starting up in England, when I transitioned out of what's it called, the professional services firms to the banks, right? Because when I out of Pricewaterhouse, I joined a boutique investment firm, right? And moved me to Singapore and a few other places for work, right? But at every stage, right? What changes is the client across the table, but the skills remain the same, right? If you're good at what you do, you're relatable, you can provide solutions from someone else can't for a price point the other guy can't match, right?
Yeah.
Then you're going to be successful.
Of course. And I love the human element, which, I mean, it sounds obvious to us, but too few, of the bigger organizations really center humanity and humility at the core of what they do. So I love to hear what you're saying. And that sounds like the challenges that you have faced have really shaped you in a positive way. Would you say? Without them, you wouldn't? Yeah.
I would say that because I've got one of the like call it like the anchors through which I build my like say faith in things
Mhm.
is that life won't present an obstacle in front of you without the tools for you to fix it,
Yes. I love that.
right? Like
Love
now
it.
you can say God wouldn't do that, whatever you believe in. I tend to be agnostic, right? And my philosophy of life is simple. Whatever is in front of me, it's there because I can find ways to fix it. All I need to do is either go do the research or go ask someone, right? Or what's it called, seek professional help. But whatever it is, it's within my ability to find a solution. The only thing is how can I find it, and do I have the patience, the wherewithal, do I have the persistence to see it through?
That's it, persistence. It's really reflecting yourself back to you, right? It's showing you what you can do and what you're capable of, the right challenge for sure. I love this. Okay, so I'm interested in your journey in terms of what inspired you to transition from this successful career in investment banking to founding Nexim. Particularly, I'm assuming it was like right after the 2008
Yeah,
crisis. Yeah,
yeah.
interesting.
Well, if you can go back in around that time, like several things happened. You can call it like tectonic shifts in and the way we did use the way the global economy worked, right? Obviously, pre-08, the idea of an electric car was not even was nowhere near possible, right? The idea of what's it called, home modification loans and all that stuff, none of those was in existence.
Mhm.
And no one even imagined they could happen, right? And then everyone had the perception that professional services firms like ours I worked with and the banks, right,
Yeah.
actually acted with professionalism and with what's it called, the people's interests all the time.
Right.
We found all of that to be false, right? So the challenge that came from that was that then you had what's it called, the global drive to save everyone who made all the mistakes,
Right.
right? Like you found that the large checks being cut for stimulus checks for just about every bank, every car company, everyone to do whatever they want, whatever they needed to do. But on a human level, the people who are the victims of these bad products, not many of them got the help they needed, right? And I was at the top where I could see checks going everywhere, but I didn't have the ability to influence who got what check, even if I knew they would qualify. Because obviously, at that time, I'd been in Canada for 3 years. All my friends were bankers. I didn't know anyone who looks like me in the city. Like I came here on my own, right? So in the end, I was like, okay, I've been through this a few times, right? And at every stage, there's been the drive to save those at the top, right? And not enough effort on those at the bottom. And as someone who was many people whose closest associates at the bottom, I had a challenge with that.
Yeah.
Right? Because of that, I said, okay, you know what? I like finance, I like being a bank, I like the lifestyle, but I don't think it's the best way for me to create an impact I want to create it.
Yeah.
Right? So I chose to what's it called, to walk out of super good career in finance to go try something else. Now, obviously, if I said it was just my idea to find Nexim, I'll be lying. But the truth is that my mom worked a business like Nexim in England when I was younger.
Okay.
So when I was going through ideas, I got myself. I tend to do a lot of like soul searching trips where I could do a bus ride around Africa, around India or something, just to see what life looked like on the other side.
I love that.
So on one of those trips, I stopped in Uganda. I told my mom that what's it called? My banking career was finished, and I was investigating option. Right. So she told me to take some time out and go sit down with a fellow who gave her a job many years earlier and see if what he was doing in England is something I could do in Canada. Right. So I went and sat down with the gentleman. He'd seen me when I was little. So when I came back and now it was like, okay, so you so and so the way they used to refer to us, you're so and so son, and see who you become and what brings you here today.
Mhm.
Right. So I sat down, told the gentleman what I was trying to do and where I was in life, and that as a CE, that life was finished, and I'm exploring an opportunity to do something with what he has done in England to see if I can do it in England. So I could do it in Canada. So he said, okay, well, here's how this works. But at the end of the day, you need two skills. You need the discipline, right? He said you need the patience of a job and the persistence of a damn bit to be successful.
Yeah.
If you have those two, everything else I'm telling you is going to work out.
Oh, I love that. Hold on. This is like, I want to underscore this for everybody watching. You're saying patience and persistence with a little discipline in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Those are
need
the
patience of job, because this is not it's not going to be a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year thing. If you're looking for that, it's the wrong place to be at.
Yeah, true that. Yeah.
Right. Also, you're going to be persistent. If you see the down bit, it has to move something 10 times this weight up a mountain.
Mhm.
But find a way to do it by keep trying a million times. And you're going to have to be disciplined, because there's so many instructions. You have to stay in the game long enough to make something. This is what he told me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I got back here, put together the business plan, sold the house, and got started.
Amazing. I love this. Yeah, I mean, it shows you who you really are. Once again, back to what you said before, right? These challenges are there to test your persistence and commitment and dedication to what you really believe in. And it sounds like that soul searching was essential for you to kind of step back. How important do you think that is for people who are kind of questioning what to do next, just to kind of take
I think it's everything.
Yeah.
I think it's everything, because I tend to do this every now and then. I'm actually turning 50 this year. And for my treatment to myself, I'm driving from Cape Town to Kampala. That's it's about 6,000 kilometers with a few friends
Okay.
across like 6 countries. But And we're not doing like 5-star stays. No, we're doing where everyone is staying. But my thing with stuff like this is that when you are in OECD countries, like in Canada and England and all these countries, there is the perception that every stage of life is like a pre-programmed, you just plug in and follow. Right?
Yeah.
And what you forget is that actually 80% of the world is not that. Right? There are people who wake up without a guaranteed place to go to bed, who have run from war, right? Their kids who are not going to school. Not because they can't go to school. There's no school to go to or they can afford to pay for it.
Right.
Right? People can feed themselves. People can't drink water. Like these basic services, non-existent. So I believe that every time you get as close as you can get to those who don't have a lot, your humanity gets reinvented 10 times over. Right? And when it does, you find that, for example, like in my life, I survived the war, then I got the top. But in order to be successful in my business, I have to be comfortable first, giving up everything an FT of a big bank has. That's a 6-figure job, the RFPs, the first class flights, and all the help.
Yeah.
You have to give up all that. Right? For me to give that up, I could not give that up if I wasn't comfortable walking bare feet on the street. Right? If I wasn't comfortable being, for example, walking a few kilometers to go find water. Right? Now, for me to do that, I had to do that trip first. Right? So you find that a few of the things, it just helps you to understand that there isn't anything in life you can't change if you want to change it. And then the first thing I think we have to overcome, especially in business, is that the guy who's going to run the business and you won't be the same once they start. And once you start, you can't go back to being an employee. You can't go back, none of that.
So true. That's so true. Yeah, that door's shut behind you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You have no T4, you don't, none of that. Right? And you've got to be comfortable saying, you know what, if I don't have like $10 for lunch, I'm gonna skip the meal and wait for the next meal if I have to for this.
Right.
Because that's how much it has to mean to you to be successful at it. That's what I think.
Yeah. Make it mean something. Oh, I love. Do you do motivational speaking, Henry? Because if you don't, you really should consider it. You've said so many profound things that I think not just business owners, but in life, we all need to consider all of what you're saying. So thank you. Have you done a motivational speaking?
No,
Okay.
none of it.
Yeah, put it on the list. I know I'm sure you're not busy enough, and you should add that to your list of things to do. Okay. I know. Can you tell us? I'm sure there are a few, but can you think of one defining moment during your journey that led you to establish Nexim as what's one of Canada's leading healthcare staffing firms?
Good question. But I'm going to go back to it after, because I think this is very important. Around the time best times went down, I went to New York City, right?
Yeah. And
then I walked across a building and I bought a book. That book is called The New Kind of Success by Neil Butler. It's an American book. Anyway, in that book, she chronicled the then initial stories of 20 young Black entrepreneurs at that time who are trying to cause change, like in different fields they were in.
Yeah.
And most of them were Americans, right? But almost all of them had the only thing they had that I didn't have was that they were born in the States. Right?
Yeah.
But I was born in Canada, I was born in Africa. That's the only thing that they are different. Because of that, obviously they had a head start in exposure to the way the markets works and they start, which I did, right? But which I caught up on through my life in finance and everything else. But all of them had no CA degrees, right? All of them had no, between all of us, we didn't have any people ahead of us who had done the things we're trying to do.
Mhm.
right? None of them had any role models in their families who are business people, bankers, none of them.
Right.
But all of them were starting out in different, very, very small companies, trying to create change and change the way things are done.
Mhm.
So I picked up the book and read it about 2, 3 times. I'm like, look, so you have all these kids here, right? They have no CA. They don't have any bank. They can't write a business plan, and they set up something. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know I can go back and be a banker with all the skills I've got.
Right.
Right. So to bring it to the state, to this place now, the people in that book then, if you look at them now, that book's like a prophecy when I look at it. One of them is the guy in football, Damon John.
Oh my goodness, Damon John. Yeah.
He's one of those in that book.
Wow.
Right. There's a guy called John Hope Bryant who runs the financial literacy thing in Atlanta.
Yes. Okay. I may have heard
He's
that.
one of the people written about in that book.
Wow.
So all these people who then were nothing are something today. All of them in that book.
Wow. That book found you. And I know you say you're agnostic, Henry, but you've got to acknowledge some kind of higher force at play that made you walk into a bookstore and find that book, because that sounds like it was a bit of a turning point for you, sort of emotionally and professionally,
Yeah. Yeah, but both I think also mentally. Because sometimes
mentally. Yeah.
you ask yourself that it's like you've got to overcome a wall mentally.
Yes. Yes.
And you don't know what's behind the wall. So to figure out what's behind the wall, like a book like that helps you see it. Because you're like, okay, see all these people here. Okay, they got an American passport that I didn't have at the start. Right? But above and beyond that, they have nothing else.
Yeah.
Right? But see what they're doing. Right? And then on the other hand, yes, I don't have an American passport. I was born in Uganda. Every passport I've got, I've had to go earn it.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I've been able to find the best education and then rise to the top in my profession.
Yeah.
So because I've got this finance background, none of them had, because all of them had issues, tax filings, this, that. I won't have none of them.
Right.
But I've got the training.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, if these guys can do this, I think I can do this. I just need to figure out what to do, but I think I can be good at something.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, it's the I can do it. You've got to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And as you say, you've got to be able to see over the wall or through the wall to be able to have that vision, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we are in very uncertain times, right? I mean, we talked about 2008. That looks like a blip compared to what we are facing potentially right now in Canada. So I'm sure there are many small business owners and entrepreneurs who are a little nervous about, the uncertainty, the fear of the unknown. So do you have any advice in terms of how Canadian small business owners can approach these times of uncertainty?
Well, I think as business people, we've got to look at these things in terms of your goals and your vision, because times are going to change. But I think what your goals are should not change. How you approach them may change because of the times. Because, what's it called? Political, like policies in politics and what's it called? Regulation, they're going to change every now and then. Right? For example, in our industry, we've had a lot of new laws coming in around OHA laws and misclassification, and this, of course, that's a chunk of money that we didn't plan on, right? But also, within these uncertain times, our opportunity, because with every change, when industries and systems change, opportunities create themselves. You have to just be paying attention to them. But coming back to what business people can do is prepare yourself by asking yourself, what do these uncertain times mean to my business as far as risk is concerned? One of them is fiscal risks, like the taxes, like the interest rates and all that stuff, right? Then if they're doing tariffs and everything else, well, is there where I can hedge my products against the tariffs? For example, you may talk to your customers and say, look, if I give you today's price, right, for the next 2 years, so I don't change the price and this, that, can you sign on? So whenever the tariffs change, I won't change my price.
I love that tip. That's a great one.
right?
Yeah.
And then, like when it comes to like your bankers and stuff, because rates are going down, but when they go down, banks don't make that much money.
Mhm.
So as opposed to saying having, for example, people like us who use a lot of cash flow, you've got to say, okay, is there a way I can work with my banker to lock in, even if I have to give up a percentage now, but guarantee cash flow for X amount of time, regardless of the uncertainty.
Yeah.
Then you can give a percentage. The bank takes a percentage, you have a percentage, but in exchange for that, you know whatever happens outside, your cash flow needs won't be impacted by the risk. Right? And then people just wait stuff out because politicians and policies are going to change 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
But your business is going to be here. Wait after all of them.
I love that. I love that. Thinking of this like great solid building in the middle of a storm, all of it is changing. But if you know what you stand for and you know what you're offering, you can remain steadfast through those times. And it sounds like you're just saying, take a bird's eye view, right? Like Google Earth it, look ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, look ahead. Because, for example, we have the Trump rate and this, that. Anyone who was here in 08, who was here in his first term, would know that he makes so much noise, but not a lot of changes.
Yes.
So you've got to tune out most of the noise and say, okay, has any policy changed yet? If it does,
yes. Amen. There's so much bluster and noise right now in the US that like I'm waiting for show me when it's done. Show me when the tariffs are in place. Of course, I want to be mindful and intentional and anticipatory, as you've said, but I'm not going to get all it's not worth getting fearful and go into panic, right? Not yet.
Yeah. Especially because he has like 2 years. Because in the next 2 years, they're going to go to what's it called, congressional elections. Normally, when that happens, the party that is in power, the government, loses Senate and House.
Yeah.
So then the policy is going to change. He can't be president for 2 years. He can't do no policy.
Yeah.
So if you can't hold on long enough for 2.5 years, whatever the gentleman is saying has nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like we are like this just actually Canadian on Ontario thing. Canadian thing actually. Many businesses, like in our space, we're trying to do basically to guarantee the supply of staff.
Right.
That means creating our own ability to train staff on demand. So because of that, we chose to set up a private career college 4 years ago.
Amazing.
Right? And we put the money in and the time in to do this. At the time, the federal government, provincial government, all of them said, we need as many students as you can find. And anyone coming here after they do 1 year, they do 2 years worth of school, they can stay and find it. As long as they find a job, they can stay.
Yeah.
Then fast forward 5 years in, and they said, this is, way too many people came in. Now that program is going to close. And we're going to think about what's coming in this place. But now here's the trick. We've made the whole strategy of one section of our business about that government policy. That's now changed.
Yeah.
Right? So now we are here with the investment and the time, but without the policy driver behind it.
Yeah.
So the question is, do we panic and then do something else? Right?
Yeah.
I would say no, because here's why I would say no. The policy was driven by a need that hasn't changed. Right? Like, no one is having enough kids to make enough nurses or PhDs to look after everyone else.
100%, yeah.
Right? And the boomers are just increasing. So none of the central dynamics of what drove the policy have changed. But there's an election coming. That's why we have a problem. We have an election coming. People are doing populist ideas to win an election. Yeah. So after I've armed myself with all these facts, I have to say, I've just steadied my course and hold out this election season and wait for the government, because the next government had to face the exact same challenges the one before it faced. Hospitals need nurses, boomers need carers, they need doctors. We don't have enough. We're going to get them from abroad. Right. Or bring them in as students and then integrate them in the workforce. That's not going to change. Not anytime soon, because that only anytime soon, I'm not changing my strategy. They can turn around and make all the noise. But whatever government comes in, they have to come up something similar to what the government before them did, because the needs haven't changed and the parameters haven't changed.
Right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I love your big vision, your just the way you view things. So I want to ask you this, in honor of Black History Month, what role do you believe diversity and inclusion play in the success of Canadian small businesses?
A lot, but a lot. Diversity is key to growth. Like anyone can't say it exactly blind, and you can't go anywhere without it.
Mhm.
Like I'll give you just key examples, starting with women, right? 65 years ago, women could not have a bank account without a man in the corner. Imagine that didn't change. Today, 28% of Kenyan GDP is from women businesses or women. So if they can't have a bank account, they can't do that GDP. That means we would be 28% worse off if women couldn't have a bank account. Now, I don't know what world you live in, but I don't want to be in that world. If
Don't want to
that's
be in
what
that world,
possible.
no. Right.
Right? Now, you go to the other thing, look at like Black, brown business people. You look at Stats Canada. We are the people setting up the most businesses, we're the people buying the most houses, we're the people doing the most work. Right? So the future is diverse.
Yes.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Diversity drives consumption. Right? Diversity is going to drive consumption. It's going to drive your human services, your doctors, your nurses, your obstetricians, name it. They're going to be diverse because simply we're not having enough white people having kids. There's no other way to say it, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
Right? So, and in addition to that, there's not just the growth proportion, the ideas are better because they reflect everyone. Good ideas have no respect for race or gender. It's a good idea.
That's right.
Right?
Exactly.
And the sooner everyone realizes this, the better it's going to be for all of us.
I could not agree more. Absolutely. And how do you think the legacy of Black entrepreneurs has shaped the Canadian business landscape as we see it today? What can we learn from that history?
Actually, a lot. You could see that there is like an on-ramp of success that gets people, groups of people up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the 40s, 50s, you had Europeans coming to Canada, they were given land and stuff to go on, right? Land they got from natives, gave it to European immigrants to move on, right? They got early start capital, right? Now you look at like Black, brown, and everyone, like people like immigrants and Black people and everyone else, none of them is being given those opportunities. That means a Black entrepreneur coming in, right, has to face the obstacle of lack of capital, not knowing anyone, most likely they'll be the first in line to do this. That means they're writing a whole new book how this done within themselves and their community.
Yeah.
Right? They're opening all these doors to just about everyone behind them because they show, by opening that door, they show other people how things are done to get into the door and stay inside the room. Right? So all these skills, right, that Black people bring to the table, right, like resilience, self-discipline, right, the dedication to a goal and go after it regardless of what the challenges are. Because if someone can, from a standing start, with no skills, no money, no nothing, build $1 billion business. Like the guy, I was at the RBC thing on the RBC Black History Gala a few days ago, and I met Mr. Lee Chin, right?
Yeah.
And he talks about getting out of Jamaica, being born to what's he called an orphan, one of 8 kids, and then coming to Canada and writing his own story the best way he could. And he listed 3 things: be the best at what you do, because if you're the best, everyone likes the best.
True.
Right? And then he says, you're going to have to outwork everyone because everyone is watching you. But that's okay because if everyone is watching, you can't make a mistake. And then he said something else more interesting. He said, look, we are born in the best time. Because think about it. If we are born 250 years earlier, we're owned by someone. That means you can't have the business. You can't do nothing.
You
You can be
couldn't.
as you want and as whatever you want to be. You can't go after your goal if you're born 250 years earlier.
Mhm. Mhm.
So in answer to your question, that yes, the barriers, yes, there's so many things you have to overcome, but don't make them an excuse for you not going after your goal.
Mm. I love that. I love that. And I always, when you look at someone who's had to overcome all of that adversity, you're going to get someone who is the best at what they do,
Exactly. Yeah,
right? If I have a choice, that's the person I'm going to
that's the
choose.
guy in the room,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
just think about imagine just like in our field. Imagine you need a cardiac operation to get your heart out and find a new one.
Hmm.
You have this black doctor with all the best skills and everything else, a whole lineup of designations plus experience doing the same thing. And you have a white doctor who is going to be you're going to be his first patient. Who of these two do you want?
Yeah. I know who I'm choosing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Every time. I don't even know why it's a question. So yes, what a legacy. I love it. Okay. So Nexim, let's talk about your company. It's grown significantly under your leadership. By the way, you're the guy I want to work for. I imagine that the company culture is very strong. You've got over 3,000 individuals that you employ indirectly. How do you maintain a strong company culture? How do you? I mean, we're getting a little glimpse of how you do that just in your philosophy. But how do you maintain that strong, inclusive company culture while scaling to such a degree?
I think it comes down to like the three critical things. One is broadening the what's it called, broadening the bottom of talent coming in, because if you have as many diverse people coming in at the bottom, you're gonna have many people at the top. That means your hiring practices, outreach. Like we find people like in the church group, in immigration resettlement center, in some colleges, but also in community centers, areas where others don't go to find talent. We go there and look for the best people.
Love it.
Because everyone can go in need and everything is find people. But if you people who have got all the skills may not have a computer,
Yes. Well,
right?
this
Or
is
they're new to the country. Sorry, go on.
no, sorry, you go ahead. Yeah.
Or they're new to the country and trying to find their way up, and they've gone to this community center to find resources. And they find you there saying, you know what, we've got this work we're doing. In addition to the Nexim work, we do a lot of work with new Canadians around financial literacy, around resume creation, around job skills training and all that stuff. Things we do through our charity. But through that creates a pipe for us for talent that within place within our business.
Yeah.
Right. So first, identify the bottom coming in. Then two, what's called credit culture, where voices are given platforms to manifest what they're trying to believe in or put across, and consider those positions. Even if you said no, at least listen. Right? Because people are going to respect someone who had them, even if they didn't act on it, as long as they're going to be listening here.
Yeah.
Right? And then the other thing is just remaining humble. Right? If you are humble and approachable, and you treat everyone with respect, regardless of what they do for you, from the cleaner to the VP to everyone, I address everyone as sir, madam, and can I help you?
Yeah. I love that.
Right? So then it creates the environment where one, people want to come to work, two, they want to stay, right? And three, that they talk their friends about us, which enhances our what's it called, standing within the communities that we work with.
Yeah. Oh, like as you talked about your hiring practices, I think so many people are overlooked. I mean, you talk about not even having a computer, but even if you do, you could have this wonderful skill set, and you could be the best candidate, but because you didn't use the right keywords and AI didn't figure it out, you got overlooked and you were bypassed. And so I love this human approach. It's what the world needs, absolutely. And giving voices and hearing voices is, of everyone in the organization is what every company company needs, I believe. So that's fantastic. Okay. I've got some audience Q&A. I'm reading in here, and I know that everybody's finding it very inspiring. Okay. Henry, you've shared a lot of valuable insights on leadership and growth. How do you manage to maintain a healthy work-life balance? Work-life balance, especially when leading a growing business.
You've got. I tend to say that I try to not lose. I try to enjoy the process. That means don't lose myself in my work.
Right.
So I've got some hobbies. I like to read. I like documentaries, doing wildlife and stuff. And wildlife coming on, I travel a fair bit.
Yeah.
And I do sports, but also more importantly, I try to make time to be with my family. Like I've made it that every Thursday of the week, I free up the afternoon so I can hang out with my wife and kids. I've got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. But I take my kids to school every morning, right? And I try to make it that I put him to bed every night because it's important to me that the kids know who I am, not just the business person, but as a dad as well.
Oh, that's huge.
Right. So in my answer to that question is we've got all of us have the same hours. Even a baby has the same hours.
Mhm.
And so is all of us. But the question is, how do you allocate your priorities so you can get maximum impact in every hour that you've got?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then obviously sometimes some things have to give for other things to happen. Right? But then when you get the time back, you have to give it back where you got it from. So you have to be disciplined with your time. You have to learn to say no to people because the higher you grow, the more demand there is to your time, but also the least of it that you have.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're going to allocate your time to someone, they should deserve it.
Absolutely. And that comes from, it sounds like you have your priorities in check. You know exactly what's important. So it's easy to know what to say yes to and what to say no to.
No.
Beautiful. I love that. You've spoken about the importance of building strong teams. What would be your top tip for fostering a culture of collaboration and trust within a growing business? I mean, you've told us a little bit about listening to everyone's voice, but what else would you say is your top tip?
Actually, I would say two critical things. One, you've got to create the boundaries of discussion.
Yeah.
Because even when you want to listen, you need to know how far. You have to have boundaries of how far you have to listen to something you have to make a decision. Otherwise, you're going to decision analysis paralysis, and you don't want to go there.
Yeah. Good point.
Right? That's one. Right? And then two, you've got to have, I would say, 2 or 3 or 4 trusted lieutenants, right? Who, after everything is decided, or after everything is being sort of discussed and everything else, you could say, okay, if you're going to make this decision, how would you make it? And you have 1 or 2 guys ask a question.
Okay, I like that.
Right? And then I think the other one is this outside doors, but the other, I think to add to that is as a business leader, you've got to have parameters within which people can make decisions.
Yeah.
So that everyone knows that up to that level, they can make the call without having to ask you.
Oh, I like it. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And then after that, they can come to you.
Clearly defined boundaries, right? Clearly defined
Yeah.
parameters again.
Yeah.
So I like this theme. Beautiful, wonderful. I think we are, I mean, I could go on and we could talk to you all day. I know everybody wants to hear, but I know you only have so many hours in the day, Henry, and we appreciate that you gave us the time that you did today. Thank you so much for joining us for Canada Business Talks, for sharing your inspiring journey with our audience. And I know your insights into, well, everything, leadership, adaptability, diversity and inclusion, very valuable for me as a small business owner, and I know for everyone watching. So thank you. Your experiences and commitment to your business and social justice are really motivating. I mean, there aren't words to describe how motivating and inspiring. So very, very grateful. And we know that the impact you're making through Nexim healthcare consultants and NIDO or NIDO, as we were talking about before, NIDO is something you that will undoubtedly resonate with a lot of small businesses across Canada. We hope to stay connected with you, Henry, and as you continue to empower entrepreneurs and small business owners. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right. I'd like to give a final thank you to our sponsors, our exclusive banking partner, RBC, our exclusive shipping partner, UPS, our exclusive hospitality partner, IHG Business Edge, and our tech partner, Google. And before we wrap up, before you go anywhere for the weekend, I want to take a moment to highlight our next exciting event, Thriving in the Digital First Economy at the Small Business Show 2025. That's May 29th, 2025 at the Metro Toronto Convention Center, North Building, level 100. Write it down. This exclusive one-day show will feature a variety of panel discussions, webinars, and keynote presentations from Canada's top business leaders and entrepreneurs. It's the perfect opportunity to dive into the latest trends, strategies to help your business thrive in today's digital first world. And there's going to be an exciting lineup of speakers, interactive sessions, and it's an event you will not want to miss. So make sure you mark your calendars and join us. That's May 29th as we explore how to leverage tech for business growth. And you can email info@canadiansme.ca for more details. And we look forward to seeing you there. Thank you all for joining us today for this special edition of Canada Business Talks, where we focused on Black History Month and the incredible work of Henry Lukenge. Henry's journey from investment banking to founding Nexim Healthcare Consultants and leading NIDO's impactful social initiatives is really a true testament to the power of resilience, adaptability, and a commitment to making a difference. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day. We hope today's conversation has empowered and motivated you, and we encourage you to take these lessons and apply them to your own business. I know that you're inspired, so go right now while you are feeling inspired. Thanks again, Henry, for sharing your wisdom, and for everyone who tuned in today. Stay connected, keep pushing forward, and continue empowering your business. Keep that vision in mind. You will be able to see through the wall. Have a great day. We look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Thanks, Henry. Bye.
Bye.